Like I said, I don't like vacation rentals on this platform at all. I don't like what their fee structure is and what they're doing with their with the fee structure. But you can sort, you can filter your properties up here by single family, residential, vacation rentals, leveraged, rented, newly built. So let's just pick one. We're going to pick the high key. We're going to look at this one right here. They have pictures of the property. That's nice. There's a little financial description going on here. It tells you how many investors. It's 100% funded, so we can't get in. They've got 541 investors. Tenant leasing process is under contract, so it's not leased right now. They're hoping to have a dividend in October. They're expecting a 4.1% per year dividend yield. And then they have some stuff here on historic market returns. You can completely just discount this because this is just historic. It has nothing to do with reality. And let me tell you, the last 2 years in real estate had nothing to do with reality. And this is including the last 2 years. So just ignore this section completely. Now, I like this strategic refinance candidate. This property may seek to add up to 70% leverage through a strategic refinancing. Learn more. So that's nice if they decide to leverage that property. The stakeholders, the shareholders who bought in 100% financing will be distributed some of that money, probably minus some fees. Now, this is, honestly, you guys, when I started making this video, I was really excited about Arrived. I like a lot of things about their platform. I do see that they're building a community. They've got some great real estate videos on investing and taxes I enjoyed listening to. Then I get here, property purchase price, $244,000. I'm going to round up numbers just so you guys know. $245,000. Total invested, $290,000. That's $50,000 over retail price. Because I looked this up on Zillow, you guys. $244,000 was the retail price. Actually, it's a little bit less than that. It's $240,000. That's a huge difference right there. Now, property improvements and cash reserves, $18,000. Closing costs, offering costs, holding costs, $18,000. Arrived sourcing fee one time, $8,000. This really shocked me, you guys, when I was looking at this. I decided to dig a little deeper in their documents, and it actually gets worse. I will say that one thing I do not like about Arrived is they're not doing a lot of due diligence for their documents that we're allowed to see. We can't see the property inspection report. We don't get to see the closing statement. I don't get to see anything else about the property. Other than when I look deeper, and I'll show you in a minute, you can see the purchase and sale agreement and the assignment contract, and that's it. And that is all built in here down in this under the documents. If you click on these little squares, they all go to the same document. They just go to a different part of that document. So I pulled it up. Now, this right here, Arrived Series High Key, you can see this right here. This is the financial breakdown of the property. Acquisition costs $244,000, $245,000. Property improvements, $8,000, fine. Operating and capital reserves, $10,150. Okay, they're going to hold some money back for capital reserves, that's fine. Brokerage fee of $2,900. You guys, that is not on the sale commission of the property that's listed. That is added on to the sale price of the property. Acquisition expenses, $5,170. Offering expenses, $5,799. Financing and holding costs, $4,780. Sourcing fee, $8,560. Acquisition expenses, number 3 is title insurance, appraisal costs, closing costs, mortgage. Fine. I don't have a problem with acquisition expenses. This $2,900 brokerage fee, offering expenses at $5,799. I have a problem with both those. Financing and holding costs, I don't have a problem with. They're buying these properties free and clear. And during the holding period, the SEC sort of approval holding period, I know there's going to be costs associated with that, and that's fine. And then this sourcing fee of $8,560. Okay, let's just do some math on the fees, you guys. So let me show you something right here. When you dig into the documents on this property, this is the purchase and sale agreement. If you look right here on the purchase and sale agreement under closing information, it talks about the commissions. They've blacked out who this commission is going to. They're going to claim privacy. That's bullshit. They just don't want you to know who that commission is going to. That's a 3% commission. That is not the same as that brokerage fee I just showed you on that other disclosure. This is a much larger fee. They're not disclosing this. So that other fee is added on top of this. I think that's probably what they're calling this right here, which is their assignment agreement, where they basically Arrived buys the property and then assigns it to the Series LLC. And I have a question, is that fee, that brokerage fee, the assignment fee, they're not disclosing that property. I think that's an assignment fee. If it's not even an assignment fee, it's just a brokerage fee. What for? They've already received that 3%. So they're charging fees on top of fees. Then you have this offering expenses at $57.99. And then you have the sourcing fee at $85.60. That brings total fees up to almost $25,000. These are additional fees. These are TBFs. Total bullshit fees of almost $25,000 that they're adding on top of the property that you as the investor are going to have to absorb. This is a major problem. This is why I said pay attention to who's funding this. When you raise $160 million, that $160 million wants to be paid back. And this is how they're paying that back. Another way that Arrived makes money, and I think this is kind of shady, they find a property management company to manage the properties. Property management companies typically charge 8 to 10%. In their documents, Arrived states that they pay an 8% management fee, but that some of that fee might be going back to them. I looked in their documents and look at this right here. Exhibit C of their property management agreement says the management fee is 6% of gross revenue. So that means they're taking a 2% fee of gross revenue. That's a problem. The reason I see that as a problem is good property managers are key to a successful rental property. And if you're going cheap on your property manager, they're not going to care about the property as much. And they're going cheap on the property managers by paying them 6% and taking the 2% fee. I don't like that. Because what do I get for my 2%? I'd rather have that go to the property management company that would do better job of managing the property, of picking tenants and doing all that so I can get a better return on my investment than cheaping out and going cheap on the property management company. They get resentful because they're not making as much on the other property they're managing, and they're just going to manage it according to what they're getting paid. I don't like that. I think that's a cheap-ass problem, and I think that as investors, this is a problem. Another fee they stack on, and I'm not even including in this list here, is they charge a 0.6% fee to assets under management. So, but it's not 0.6% of rents, it's 0.6% of the property is paid out to Arrived on a quarterly basis. Well, it's yearly, but they pay out 25% of that quarterly as an asset under management fee. So that's in addition to the other fees, in addition to the 2% of the property management fee. They get this asset under management fee, and God knows what they're going to charge on the disposition if they decide to sell. Now, one thing about Arrived is as an investor, you don't have any choices.